Hello, and welcome back to Revolt for another session of the Mugen Trials. For today's cars, I thought it would be fun to focus on a specific creator, so all today's races are straight from IronBobs Anvil. All of today's cars have qualified with speeds in the high 600s to high 700s, which is quite frankly astounding. I say qualified because I've decided that the F1 drag strip test from the previous episode will be a qualifying session to weed out the slower cars I've accidentally picked out. Cars will have to achieve a minimum of 450 mph scale speed. This means we'll only be seeing cars that will likely outclass the Pro tier. No more Toyota clones sneaking in this time. Our first of IronBobs cars is Mini Champ, made back in December 2001. And qualifies with 70.3 mph, which is quite simply staggering. That's incredible, but not the highest we'll see today. By the end of its fourth lap, we've already beaten Warbird with a 1 minute 4, which is no surprise since Mini Champ is some 18 mph faster. Here's the best lap I could set with it. Mini Champ sets a time of 1 minute 2.929, shattering Warbird's time by almost 4 seconds, but how long will that time stand? Probably not that long, knowing IronBob's other creations. Next up is Talon BX, created almost a year later in October 2002, qualifying with a speed of 73.3 mph. It's slightly faster than Mini Champ, but will that be enough to take the crown? Here's Talon's best run. On lap 3 we overthrow Mini Champ's record by a full second with a 1 minute 1.884, but it wasn't easy. I'll admit I'm beginning to regret my choice of Hull Breach 2 for the test track. Landing and taking jumps seems wildly inconsistent and it's hard to see if I'm lined up sometimes in the dark sections. If you have any suggestions for another track, please let me know. Changing courses would mean rerunning all the previous entries, but it's better to do that sooner rather than later when I've done like 100 cars or so. Anyway, on to the next one, Madbull. Built just over a month later in November 2002, this car qualifies with 69.5 mph. Not quite as fast as the previous two entries, but remember, all these cars are found in the Pro class, which generally maxes out at around 40 mph. So these things are monsters. Here's Madbull's best run. 1 minute 4.139 doesn't beat Talon or Mini Champ, but it's still not a bad time at all. It still beats Warbird from the last episode by almost 2 seconds. How about we take a break from all these serious looking race cars? Here's Santa's Hot Rod, which landed appropriately on the 24th of December 2002. It might be our slowest car today, but Santa's no slouch, qualifying with 63.8 miles per hour. Here's the best lap. One minute 7.934 doesn't get Santa to the top of our table, unfortunately, not even close, but it does comfortably beat our Super Pro time, which is what qualifies it as a Mugen car, so good job Santa. Finally today we have my favourite of the bunch, the Tungsten Tiger. Finished in May 2004, it's a little later than our other IronBob entries for today. The Tiger also qualifies with today's fastest speed with 780 mph scale speed, which does break the sound barrier, and is slightly faster than Thrust SSC, but top speed isn't everything. I do actually have to be able to drive this thing. On its 5th and final lap, I managed to string together a half decent-ish run and land a 1 minute 1:3:12, beating Talon by just over half a second. It wasn't clean by any stretch of the imagination though, and could have likely been under a minute. But as I said earlier, I am open to suggestions for other courses and would happily rerun all the previous entries to make this series work. On to today's leaderboard, which is now an IronBob podium shutout, with the Tungsten Tiger, Talon BX, Mini Champ and Madbull taking 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Santa's Hot Rod slots in behind Warbird, which is now lamenting in 5th place, wondering what on earth happened. Will the Tungsten Tiger hold on to 1st? Next episode is going to be a random grab bag, so we shall wait and see. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any suggestions for competing cars or maybe a new track to set times on, please do let me know. Until next time, take care and goodbye!